Luminox is in hot water as they're being sued. What does this mean for you? Since this is a class action lawsuit, we're going to go into the details of this particular case, find out exactly what this individual, this plaintiff, claims that Luminox did, and then we're going to go into detail in regards to whether or not, if you have experienced the same issues with your Luminox, are you entitled to compensation? And we're going to discuss that on this episode of Time. Kind of one. Hello everyone, welcome to Average Joe Watch Reviews. We'll be doing more than just reviews. Today we're going to be talking about a juicy topic, the fact that Luminox is being sued in a class action lawsuit. This may mean that you, the viewer, could receive compensation in regards to this case if you become a class member. Now, we're going to talk about the details of the case and talk about whether or not you could possibly be a member of this case if you own a Luminox watch. So let's just dive into the details, but before we do so, could you please do me a huge favor and click that like button? That is indeed the most charitable way to help support the channel. And also, if you are new to Average Joe Watch Reviews, I welcome you to the family. So let's dive into the details of the case. An individual, the plaintiff by the name of Scott Biddick out of San Diego, he's an avid fisherman, he's a surfer, he's an outdoorsman. So he was perusing the websites looking for the ultimate watch, the watch that could fit his lifestyle. So he ran across a couple of Luminox ads and he saw the motto, "Always Visible." Then he also saw the fact in the commercials, or the advertising I should say, that this is the official watch of Navy SEALs. Well, with that being said, if a Navy SEAL could wear it, obviously I'm not a Navy SEAL, I could surely wear this watch. So he went ahead and pulled the trigger and bought himself a new Luminox watch. And it actually was model 3581, and he bought it brand new for $384.95. So he wore it rigorously throughout his, days of outdoorsy activities. And within a 6-month period of time, he has developed a lot of condensation underneath the crystal. So he's found condensation in temperatures above 90 degrees and below 40 degrees Fahrenheit. He claims in the lawsuit that within 20 minutes at normal room temperature, after being exposed to those two temperatures that I mentioned, that condensation then starts to build up. So what happened is Scott, the plaintiff, he reached out to Luminox via email, and Luminox actually replied the next day. And Luminox asked Scott to take it to an authorized dealer to then have it serviced because Luminox suspected that there was some type of defect within the seal. So Scott took it to Saltzman Jewelers. They worked on it for an undisclosed period of time, and what they did was they thoroughly looked it over and inspected it. They did a water pressure test, and they returned it and stated that they couldn't find anything wrong. Well, despite that, Scott then wore the watch some more, and as you guys can probably imagine, the condensation issue reoccurred. So once again, Scott reached out to Luminox. Luminox did not reply. Scott waited a week, and then he emailed them again, stating that the watch was defective the day that he bought it, brand new, and also that he would like to have a replacement watch. Once again, Scott was ghosted by Luminox. So, with no further recourse, the plaintiff decided to file a lawsuit. So the claims of the lawsuit is fairly simple. The claims are that Luminox had previous knowledge of this issue for years. So despite Luminox claiming no fault for this particular issue and has admitted no fault of this being an issue with other customers, Luminox has decided to settle despite that because of the long drawn out court process and also the exorbitant amount of legal fees that they can incur. So they have made a preliminary settlement with the claimant and also the class members. Now, if you're not a class member, then you will not be able to receive the compensation that I'm going to state. So first and foremost, $202,500 is going to go to the legal counsel of this particular suit. $5,000 is going to go to Scott, the plaintiff. Now, anyone that's in the class, that's basically anybody that's experiencing these issues and have gone through the rigmarole of this particular case, is going to be entitled to the following. You will be entitled to an extended limited warranty of 12 months. Now, if in fact you bought your watch and you still are within that warranty period, which is standard 2 years, then your extended warranty will come directly after the original warranty expires. For anyone else that had the warranty expire weeks, months, a year ago, and has been experiencing these issues as part of the class action, you will be entitled to a 1 year extended warranty. And it's not just going to cover the condensation aspect, but it'll cover anything that the original warranty would cover. Also, if you've had your watch in for service for 2 occasions for the same issue and it has not been resolved, you are entitled to a free replacement watch. All right, so on to my final thoughts. The fact that Luminox has claimed no fault and has decided to settle does not mean that they are indeed guilty. I think, as for PR, I think it's actually a good look, because the sooner you can get rid of this particular situation, the sooner you can recover from it. And at the end of the day, you're really getting off pretty easy considering the amount of money that they have, having to pay out $200,000+ and offering extended warranties. Do I believe that Luminox is guilty of this particular claim? And coming from an owner of a Luminox, I've never had issues with this particular watch, but if it was one person, I would say, okay, well, maybe they abused the watch in some sort of way. They opened it up, tried to do their own maintenance, whatever the case might be, okay? But because there are multiple people, and I've actually done some research in regards to seeing that there have been multiple people that have claimed the same issue, and the fact that this is just not normal behavior for any watch. I mean, I own $10 watches up to a couple $1,000 watches, and I've never experienced this issue. This is indeed not normal, despite what the frequently asked questions on Luminox's site states. That does kind of give me the indication that there may be a little bit of guilt here, almost like that guilty conscience and let's get ahead of the storm kind of deal. So I'm leaning more on the side of the class action. And I don't typically lean on that side, but I've studied this case pretty intensely, and I've looked at actually all the court documents, and it does to me appear that Luminox is indeed at fault. But I think that they took the high road and the smart approach, and I think it's good for their PR to just pay it out, which is basically really essentially pennies to them. and it'll get rid of this case sooner than later so that they can recover and start to move forward. And hopefully they re-engineer and see exactly what the issue is. My biggest concern with the settlement is in regards to the replacement watch. I believe that's where they kind of failed a little bit in regards to the lawyers for the plaintiff. Because let's be honest, like if you brought your watch in for service twice and it still has not remedied the situation, what makes you so sure that a replacement watch is not going to go through the same thing? I would have proposed that the person would get their money back and decide whether or not they want to indeed deal with Luminox again. So that's my 2 cents, guys. You can keep the change, and always remember that there's always time to be kind to one another. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below, so please let me know what you guys think. And I'll see you guys next time on Average Joe Watch Reviews. God bless, my friends.